Hi guys and welcome back. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video this week. I'm uploading two videos at the same time this week, one of which is going to be a shorter version of this video, and this one itself is going to be a video about my top 10 tips about going to uni. These tips are going to be tips that I wish that I knew when I started uni, and I don't think anyone really prepares you for how different uni is. And so I just want to throw these tips out there and hopefully prepare people a bit more. If you don't want to stay here for the entire video but you still want to know the tips, then I will leave a link to the shorter version of this video down below in the description box, and if you like that video you can always pop back to this one. Okay, so here are my top 10 tips. My number one tip is to not throw away your student finance in that first month of getting your student finance. It is so easy to come to uni and to buy a whole new wardrobe, decorate your room with home stuff, get into debts buying all your textbooks, which are extraordinarily overpriced. Definitely buy second-hand textbooks if you can. And just in general, like, you don't realise how much food costs, how much washing costs, how much going out for a quick drink with your friend and ending up in a nightclub at 3 o'clock in the morning without any money to get home in the taxi costs. And if you blow all of your student finance in that first sort of month or two, you're really going to struggle until your next deposit, which is usually January time. So you've got to get through Christmas without any money. You've got to get through Christmas with paying your rent and bills and eating and buying Christmas presents and still enjoying yourself without any money. It's not going to work. You really need to think about it. And your overdraft isn't free money either. I know lots of people who have gone through uni and got a student account and got a student overdraft, and they have never got out of their overdraft. And I think that's crazy. I mean, I'm not the best at budgeting. I do like to splurge. I mean, if anyone saw my Primark haul also on this channel, then you will know that I went into Primark and spent a stupid amount of money for no reason whatsoever. But I can budget enough that I can live comfortably. It's a money tip, but it's also a well-being tip, and it's something that my friend recommended me to put in this video because it's a very important tip, and I totally agree with her. And that is to, while you're budgeting, save up some of your money for times when you are stressed and tired and homesick, so that you can then use that money, use that savings to treat yourself. You can either go out for a meal or buy a piece of clothing or a gadget that you've really wanted, or the new book that's just come out that you've been really looking forward to. And you can buy that and you can splurge on it and you can really enjoy it because you know that you've saved up that money for it, and that money there was to treat you, and it was to treat you and make you feel better. And to do that and not go overboard obviously, but to treat yourself once in a while is really important at uni, because a lot of the time you are going to feel alone and you need to treat yourself, you need to look after yourself when you're at uni. And I think treating yourself with a little thing here and there without having to worry about how much money it costs is really going to help that. That leads on to my next tips, which are about looking after yourself again. And these are to do with getting ill away from home. So the first thing I want to say is that you are going to get freshers flu. You could get it in your first year, you could get it in your second year, you could get it in your third year, or you could be really unlucky like myself and get it in all 3 years. I got freshers flu, I got tonsillitis, because there are so many people coming together at the start of term and convening, and there are just so much germ spreading, and it doesn't matter how clean you are, you're screwed. Unless your immune system is like tip top, you're just not going to make it. And you need to prepare yourself to get ill from not being at home. I was a wimp before I came to uni. Every time I'd get ill, my dad would look after me. If I had stomach pains, he would make me a hot water bottle, and if I was being sick, he'd like come in and rub my back, and I like a proper wimp. And coming to uni and getting fresh as flu, I rang him every day, feeling so sorry for myself because I couldn't look after myself. I did not know what to do with myself because I was ill and there was no one around to look after me. And and that is my tip. My tip is to prepare yourself for that. My third tip is something that not everybody thinks about, and that is to pack some sort of medical bag with you. Now, I know lots of people say don't pack everything because when you get to your flat and you've moved in with people, you don't know what they're bringing. You're going to end up with 5 kettles and 3 toasters and 6 pizza cutters and everything like this. And yeah, I agree. Don't pack everything. But pack a medical bag full of paracetamol, ibuprofen, cold and flu, nasal sprays, tissues. Like, pack those things because you will not realise how much you need them until you don't have them. You do not realise you don't own plasters until you've cut your hand open and you need a plaster. You don't realise how crappy you feel until you have had to walk to the pharmacy in the rain with a cold, with snot dripping down your face because you don't have any cold and flu tablets. And you need some because you can't sleep from congestion. You are going to feel really, really silly walking into that pharmacy if you have not pre-prepared yourself with a medical bag of some sort. And I mean, girls are quite good at this because obviously we have periods, we have stomach aches, and we need to prepare for those with endless amounts of painkillers. But there are so many people I know at uni that just did not come prepared enough, and then when they were feeling rotten, they did not top up their medical bag and they had to struggle through because they were not going to leave in the rain to go down to the pharmacy, which is usually miles away, and you really got to walk to it. So look after yourself. Like, it's really, really easy if you're prepared. Don't let yourself feel like crap, because there are going to be so many things trying to make you feel like crap when you come to uni. Like, just germs in general, they've just got it out for students. So really, really make sure that you look after yourself. Find out where your local doctor's is and register so that you can look after yourself rather than relying on your mum to make those doctor's appointments for you now. Like, you have to do it, you're an adult. So tip number 5 is a social tip, and that is, it is primarily to not feel pressured to be the typical student. I know lots of people, and I know lots of older people who consider students to be lazy, drunk all the time, going out having sex all the time, experimenting with drugs. Like, they give students a really bad credit, and I mean, freshers is a good example of all those things: laziness, drinking, getting drunk, meeting new people, having multiple sexual partners in probably the same week. I mean, some people really do go all out there, but you don't have to do it. Like, you get out of uni what you put in, and if you don't want to get a name for yourself for being the drunk one or going out every single night and getting drunk, and you certainly don't have the funds for it, then don't do it. Like, there's nothing forcing you to be that typical student. If you are a complete introvert and you would rather invite a friend round to watch a film and have some lemonade, or even just have a pint at home, like, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And if you're going to enjoy that more, do that instead, because going out and getting drunk and doing all those things just for the sake of it, there isn't really much point. Unfortunately, my next tip does kind of contradict the first one just slightly, but I think this is really important. And that is to talk to as many people as you possibly can while you're at uni. The people in your flat, the people in the flat next door, the people in your course, the people on your flat's course. Like, get introduced to other people in different courses. If you're willing to, join a society and meet people with the same interests as you, and really get to know as many people as you possibly can. Even just starting a conversation, you get an idea of who someone is and you get an idea of whether you're going to like them or not. And you are being put into a situation, especially if you go to a different city than you're originally in, you are being put into a situation where you're going to meet hundreds of people from completely different walks of life. They're going to have different religions to you, different political opinions to you, different hobbies, just a different outlook to life altogether. And if you don't take advantage of that, you're really wasting that opportunity. So you might not be friends with everyone on your course, but you might be friends with people on another course that really influence you, and you might start off friends with people and they introduce you to new people, and then you might get along with those new people a lot more, but you won't know that until you start that conversation with them and you use that to introduce yourself. And uni is a wonderful time where you have the opportunity to completely reinvent yourself. You have nobody, and unless you've gone to uni that you've got friends at already, obviously, but if most of the time you go to uni and you don't know anyone, and therefore you've got the opportunity to completely reinvent yourself. I'm not saying lie about yourself, but if you are, say, a little less confident than you would usually have been, you can start being more confident without any judgment, because nobody's going to know any different. You haven't got anyone there to go, oh, well, you're not like that. Like, you are who you want to make yourself be, and talking to people and meeting new people at uni is a great way to work out what sort of a person you want to be. And I think, like, it's definitely a confidence builder. It's like that first part-time job you ever get. You really come out of your shell and you're around new people, and uni is a great way to do that. So my tip number 7 is about homesickness. Now, homesickness seems to be like a bit of a taboo, and no one seems to want to admit that they get homesick. Guys, girls, everybody gets homesick at some point in their lives. For some reason, it might not be uni, it might be something completely different, but you'll get homesick, you'll miss certain things from home, especially if you up and move to a different city. Uni can be very stressful, and if you're not used to being on your own when you are stressed, then you are going to struggle and feel very homesick when it comes to it, because you haven't got your home comforts there to get you through it. So I would definitely recommend that for homesickness, to open up about it, talk to people about it. You're not on your own. There are going to be probably hundreds of other students all in the same position as you. The years above you will have gone through the same thing. And to bring some home comforts with you. Say you've got a favourite blanket or a favourite fragrance that just reminds you of home, and it reminds you of being calm and cosy, and or like a picture of your dog. Take 5 minutes out of your day to really embrace feeling homesick. Have a good cry into your pillow, put that fragrance in your room, really embrace it. Ring your parents, Skype home, just deal with it, because the more you bottle it up, the worse it's going to get. But I heard a lovely phrase from another YouTuber, from Tanya Burr, if anyone knows. Well, most people know who Tanya Burr is. And that was about the 5x5 rule, where if in 5 years it's not going to matter, you shouldn't waste more than 5 minutes being upset about it. And I think that's great when you think about homesickness, because in 5 years' time your degree course is going to be over. You're going to have been home, you're going to have visited, Christmas has been and gone. Nothing's going to change for you when it comes to your home life. So it's not going to matter in those 5 years, so you shouldn't spend too long being upset about it. Really embrace it for those 5 minutes, like I said, but don't let it affect you in the long run, because it's gonna put you in such a bad mood. It's gonna really demotivate you, and it's really gonna affect your time at uni and how much you're going to enjoy uni. So my next tips are actually to do with uni work. Surprise, surprise. You do actually get some done in first year, in second year, and you get a lot done in third year. So the first thing I want to say is, do not underestimate the jump from A-levels to uni. There was a huge jump between GCSEs and A-levels, and a lot of people struggled with that, and people do not realise that there is an even bigger jump between A-levels and university. Like, first year is a transition year where you are meant to be using all of your skills and developing them to a degree standard. That is why it's a DOS year. That is why it doesn't count, because they use that year and they use those modules to get everybody up to the same standard so everybody has the same chance at getting a good grade at the end of their degree. But if you underestimate the amount of work that needs to go in and you leave all your assignments till the last minute, and I'm not saying I don't do it, because I do, and I still do it in third year, but if you know you are incapable of producing good work, if you leave it till the last minute and you try and do that at uni standard, you are not going to get the grades that you want, and coming out of uni with a really naff grade, you are going to feel so disappointed in yourself because you've wasted all that money and all that time, and you could have been working and you could have been earning money and you wouldn't have been in debt. So really don't underestimate how much that jump is going to be. Tip number 9 is for those of you out there who cannot make notes to save your life. There is a big difference between being in a classroom situation where you have a teacher who is, talking to you on a personal level. There's only about 30 of you in a class, maybe, maximum. And, they can wait for you and they can wait until you understand it. And, you, as an individual, you can actually hold back a classroom. Lecturers do not have to do that. Lecturers have to stand up there and talk at 100, 200, 400 students, and they have to give their lecture. And if you don't understand it, yes, you've got the chance to ask questions, but they do not have to hold back for you like a teacher would. Therefore, if you don't make adequate notes, you are going to get behind. And I know in my first year, I really tried to make notes, especially in first term, and I would get home and they would just be illegible because I was trying to write so fast. And I find that when I write notes, I'm so concentrating on writing notes and making sure that they make sense that I then miss what the lecturer said next, and then I'm lost again, and then I'm behind again. So I would definitely recommend getting some sort of recording device. I mean, lots of phones have recording devices, there's probably apps, or get a cheap dictaphone so you can record your lectures and write down the things that you think are really important, so you don't feel the pressure of writing down everything. And then when you get home, you can re-listen to them and you can stop and start it and stop and start it and stop and start it until you've got down everything you want. Not all lecturers record their lectures. They don't have to. If they do it, it's really helpful, but they do not have to do it. And therefore, it's all down to you to make sure that you have the notes needed to pass your exams at the end of the year. And if you don't have quite enough, then it's nobody's fault but your own. You can swap notes between friends, obviously, but you keep asking the same friend for the same notes over and over again, they're going to sort of wonder what you're contributing. I mean, it's like missing a lecture and then expecting someone to tell you all the work that's been spoken about. It's not fair. So this leads on to my final tip, tip number 10, and this is 100% the most important tip there is, okay? And that is simply to enjoy yourself. If you do not enjoy your time at uni and you are stressed all the time and you are upset all the time and you've developed a new level of depression and anxiety that you didn't even know existed for you, then sometimes it is not worth it. Sometimes it is really not worth putting yourself through that just to get a bit of paper at the end of it saying you've got a degree. If you do not take the time to look after yourself and really enjoy yourself and make sure you go out with your friends every now and again and you're not just stuck in your room revising and you're not just shutting yourself away and not enjoying all the little things that you used to do before you came to uni, then it's really not worth it. You are going to be in a lot of debt at the end of uni. You are going to be at a very difficult position to find a job that probably isn't going to relate to your degree, let's be real. And everybody that you went to uni with is also going to be looking at those jobs. And they're also going to be looking at the same things that you're going to be looking at. At the end of uni, you don't know what you're going to do. Unless you have, you're one of those people that's got like a 5-year plan and it's all set out and you've applied to a job like 2 years in advance and told them, I'm going to be doing my degree for this long, can you give me this job? And they guarantee it. Like, you're going to be stuck and you're going to be stressed, and unless you have enjoyed your 3 years, 4 years at uni and made the most of it, all that time, all that money, all that debt, all that stress, and fresh as flu, like, it's just not going to feel like it's worth it. So that is my final tip to you. My final tip is to try and make sure that you enjoy it as much as you possibly can, doing the things that you really want to enjoy. And I mean, you're going to uni and you're paying to be there to do a degree course that you've chosen. So you must want to do it. Like, there must be part of you that really wants to do that degree for you to have really sat down and been like, yeah, I'm going to pay £9,000 a year to go and do this, and I want a career in this at the end of it. And if you can keep that motivation and you can keep that mindset and put that into treating yourself every now and again and making sure that mentally you're okay, then I would definitely say that uni is worth it. But if you sort of lose yourself along the way, you're gonna struggle, and it's not fair. It's not fair to feel like that. So that is my top 10 tips for uni, and I hope you found them helpful, especially if you are going to university in the autumn. If you have any questions whatsoever, then please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments down below. I mean, you can tweet me as well if something comes to mind. My Twitter link is down in the description. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful, please hit that like button so I can get some sort of response and know that I have helped someone who needed these questions answered. If you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. I am thinking of doing a couple more videos like this where I go a bit more in depth about certain things about uni, and I really use my experience and my friends' experience to help other people who are thinking of going to uni. I don't usually do videos like this. I usually do beauty videos, homeware videos, haul videos, general chatty stuff, but I will be making an effort to do other videos like this, especially over the next couple of months where I'm finishing uni and graduating. In the meantime, I would just like to say good luck to anybody who is going to uni. Best of luck with anyone that's at uni and needed these tips, because no one prepares you enough for uni. You can never be prepared enough for uni. And I just wish you all the best. And for the meantime, goodbye.